Hello, good morning. I hope all of you are well. It's a beautiful sunny day here. Just trying to think if I can show you our garden. It's nice and sunny out there. Look, it's nice and sunny. Yeah, I had some really amazing guidance today, which I just really wanted to share with you. About fears popping into your head and being run by your fears. It was a very clear picture in my head that I had a few days or so ago about I can't really say what it's about, but it was kind of like a horrific image of being literally physically cut with one of these not a chainsaw, but like one of these saws that it's like a circular saw going round, and my body was like in the between one end of my body was basically my body was being cut in half. It was literally like a flash in my head, and it was during meditation, and I was already by that stage I was already quite sort of deeply in a meditation, and I immediately felt awake. I felt the adrenaline starting to pump into my body, and my heart starting to beat faster. And the first question that came into my head is, what is that? And then quickly followed by, why am I having a horrific image like that come into me? Now, I want to say also that if you look at it from the point of view of how have you been suffering? So for me, I've been suffering by feeling really physically very unwell for a couple of weeks, and the whole of last week I was very unwell, and my stomach was really bad over the weekend. So bad that I felt like I didn't really want to eat. So it really is debilitating. It really makes me feel really tired and cut off. So I kind of thought about that, and I thought, how does that feeling of being cut off from my body relate to that image that I've seen? I really think there is some relationship. But when you embark on healing work, it's not the answer that you're going to receive when you ask spirit, when you ask that part of yourself, your higher self, whatever you want to call it. When you go in and ask for guidance, ask questions about what it is, why you have these images, why you have these deep fears about life, it's not going to be what you expect it to be. So it's not going to be 4 + 3 = 7. You're not going to get the answer 7, because it's not a concept. It's something that has been created in the past by our unity mind, our consciousness, and it's something that isn't always necessarily personal to you. It is a universal fear, or something that's maybe been around for thousands and thousands of years, that's been resting inside you, and this may be the time that you've come back to heal this particular thing. So you may have said, I really want God. I really want to heal myself. I really want to know what God is and how it feels, and to rest in God, to be that bit of myself that is God. And if you've been asking for these things, the answer is going to come to you. And the answer that I received, and it was from Yeshua, because I spend a lot of my time in conversation with him, is that I want you to rest in your body and breathe. Now, is this image something that is real? Or is it something that you've created? Is it real? Well, I can tick that box off straight away. No, it's not real. Therefore, if it's something I've created, now we're always creating in innocence. So that means that we're always creating because we're from God. So we always create innocently, no matter what the outcome is. So I've basically created something to tell myself of what I'm afraid of. And as if I think that I'm a little, if I choose to think in my head that I am only Anna, I am only this body, yes, a chainsaw cutting me in two is a very, very scary image. First of all, because it means most certain death. Second of all, it's the horror of it, the fact that because you think you're only a body, that is going to destroy you if you think you're only a body. If you're connected with all that is, you start to see these things for what they really are, which is innocent creations. And then you can, even if it is a memory, even if it's something that actually happened to you, something bad, it's still not real, because it's just a memory, and a memory is something that you've created in your mind, because nothing is real that isn't happening now. Nothing. So every memory that you ever have is only what you make it to be, because you're attaching to that feeling of fear that you associate with it. So you can breathe. Put your trust in God. And put your trust in the fact that you don't know what that is. You're taking a little journey. You're going back to being a child again. And if you think about a baby, some babies do really dangerous things, don't they? And why do they do those things? Because they don't know what they're doing. They don't know that it's dangerous. And this is what we're going back to. We're going back to the point where we created that fear. We created that. So we're kind of almost wiping the slate clean of all the fears we've ever had. So when these images come up and they make you think, ooh, what's that? It's to do with the fact that you've created something to keep you stuck. Your ego wants to keep you stuck in this box, because it knows that once you've allowed God in so completely that you understand and know that none of those things are real, it's something you've created in your head, and the only thing that's real is your relationship with God and what's happening there. And that's the only thing that's real. Everything else that you've created in your head about your fears, what's going to happen to you. If you do this, 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 and this, then this is going to happen. These are fears, and they're not real. They're only, they're very subjective. So they're very to do with your own individual path in life that you've chosen. And you can always choose at any time to look at them, to allow them to be there. The more you allow, the more these things come to the surface, and they're like, it's something really precious, because all that's happening is all the dirt from the bottom of the barrel is coming up to the surface so that the bottle can be clear. So you can see how things truly are. Let those things rise to the surface and let yourself feel it. We're human. We fear our mortality. We fear death. We fear pain. We fear these things. Let it be there. It can be there. You can be afraid of it. It's okay to let it be there and allow it to be there. And allowing it to be there is the first stage of true knowing. And that knowing is that you're always in the safe hands of God, and all that is that what you're creating in error, the moment that you allow it to be there is the beginning of its dissolution. It's going to be dissolved into the love that you are. And the more that you can let go into that knowledge that you are that power that creates all these fears. You are that power that can equally remember who you are and what you're doing. The more that you see things the way they really are, and the only way that you can do that is by experiencing it in yourself. You can't have this knowledge as information, something that you read in a book. You can read the Way of Mastery books like I'm reading. You can say to yourself, oh, I'm on this Christ consciousness path. But unless you actually engage with God, with your relationship, with your awakening process, with what is it is happening to me, and who am I? I am God. I am God, because God is the only thing that's real, that's channeling through me. And because I'm in a body, it's using my body, but it could be using anything to channel through, anything that I'm going to see to help me, to bring me to full awareness and full knowledge of what God actually is. And as a human being, we can never really know what that is, because we've got a mind that continually engages with egoic consciousness, keeping us stuck in a box. And when we are in full Christed consciousness, or full peace, full knowing, we're kind of almost no longer human anymore, because we can be here, there and everywhere, in everyone and everything. And I've had flashes of that in the past few weeks. I've had different kind of what I would call paranormal phenomena, stuff that is not, I haven't experienced before, like rememberings of things, of states of consciousness that I've had before, that have been in different times, at different, like historically on the earth, flashes of that, all kinds of things coming into my awareness now, and all of it is something to be embraced, because all of it is a creation and all of it is from God. So every dark thought that you ever have, remember, it's not real. It's a creation. It's something you've created, because you can. You can create the darkest, most horrific things in your mind because you have that power. You have the power to choose to do that. But you can also choose, using your own power, to forgive it, because it's innocent. It's innocent. You don't, you never intended to create suffering. Because when we sit in our creations that we've created unwittingly, that cause us pain, that cause us to contract and be afraid, we're not with God and we do suffer. But if you allow it to be there, if you tell yourself in your head, I'm returning to being what I was when I was a baby, because when I was a baby, I didn't know what things there were to scare me. I didn't create in my head fearful thoughts because of things that had happened to me in the past. I was a clean slate when I came in. Not a complete clean slate, because obviously whether you believe in past lives or not, you still psychically take on the consciousness of all other human beings. You carry it around with you from a very, very young age, and even when you're in the womb. So as you bring up into your awareness things that you don't like, and you realize that you're afraid of these things, your attachments, your feeling that I can only get love from my husband or my boyfriend or my girlfriend. I can only get love from the people who see me how I really am. And if they were to leave me, then I wouldn't be able to get love anymore. You know, and those people that keep ignoring me on Facebook and on Messenger, you know, they don't answer my messages, and you know, I'm afraid of what they think of me. Maybe they think I'm really annoying, and you know, all these triggers. These are little gems of wisdom. They are like angels coming to tap on your door to tell you that you're healing yourself, because you're bringing into your awareness all those things that have stopped you before from being everything that you are. Everything. So when these things come up, when you are scraping the bottom of the barrel and you're digging up all the dregs from the bottom are all coming up to haunt you, it's almost like reverse psychology. You almost have to look at them as if they're the most beautiful, wonderful things that could ever. You're not trying to you're not in denial. You're not trying to persuade yourself. You're not lying to yourself that they're beautiful when you really think that they're not, and you'd really sooner they not be there. You're not doing that, but you are. What you're doing is by letting them be there and not push them away, is a form of acceptance. It's almost like the first step in acceptance and forgiveness. You know, you're forgiving yourself and everyone else who has these thoughts and who creates in that duality that we have here on the earth plane. This constant needing to function from the point of fear, to function from the point where, you know, we feel like we're a victim and all this is happening to us. This is the place where we're functioning from a lot of the time. And if you just allow things to come up that are coming up for healing, if you let them be there instead of pushing them away and rejecting them, you're allowing yourself. You're allowing your true God self, your true whole complete self to be there, to exist, to say yes. Yes, I give you permission to be there. Yes, I give myself full permission to be all that I am in every moment of every day. I'm not stuck in the past, because in every moment I'm breathing. And connecting with truth, with unity, with God, with all that is. Every moment I'm connecting with that. And every moment that I let in what I consider to be my demons, the things about myself that I have not yet integrated, that I've pushed aside or fragmented, the moment that I allow them to be there, God can come in and in every possible way, ways that you can't even imagine, can direct you, can direct the ship. You're the ship. God is sailing it. You're joining in. You're sailing the ship as well, but you're allowing God's knowledge to penetrate you. You're allowing God to take charge, basically. You're saying, I surrender, because it hasn't worked so far. So, you know, I'm still suffering. I'm still feeling rubbish all the time. What is it that needs to be healed? And then when you see the things that come up, don't judge them. Don't look at them and think, oh, I shouldn't be feeling that. You know, it's there because you asked for it to be there. You asked for it to come up. You asked for more love to come into that space of who you are. You asked for more of God. You asked for it to come in. And you then push that away just because it's something you don't want to see. You go back. It's like one step forward, two steps back. So allowance is a really amazing, transformative key to resting in source, resting in all that you are, resting in deep peace, to be everything and to see everything and to know everything. I asked this morning whether to do a video or not on this, and I kind of said that, you know, when I receive guidance, it's so quick and immediate, and sometimes it feels a bit like coming from the past. If I'm channeling Yeshua or Holy Spirit, if I'm channeling that part of me that is God, sometimes when I do this video, it feels a bit like I'm kind of hacking up the past, so like it's not real, because I've already gone through that process in my head. But I have been told this morning that there is no time. So what I've been told is universal. And those who are on the Christ consciousness path, those who are on the path to awakening will receive this information anyway. But what you do with what I'm telling you, what you do with the information that you receive is another thing. it's the experiential, the choosing what you're going to do with it that is the reason for me to do these videos. It's the fact that I'm using my power to choose to share things that I've learned in my experience, like a blog, like a just so that you can if you're not there already, or if you know you're looking for guidance, you can receive guidance through me as in a body, but as God, because that's all it is. And I really hope that people are gonna feel that, and the presence of God when I'm doing these videos, because for me that's all that it is. That's all that I want to do, is just share that knowledge that is coming through me. So with that, I say thank you very much, all of you, people who subscribed, and just anyone who happens to, by chance, nothing's ever by chance, listen or watch this video. I love you all, and I really hope this is going to be helpful for you. Okay, thank you very much. Bye.